Welcome to the show, folks. The HOB special. No, it is not 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern. It is 9 a.m. on a Friday, not Wednesday. Good morning. How is everyone? Thank you for tuning in. So, if you don't know me yet, my name is Mike Asherbranner, the proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business community, and also known as the Redneck Connector, affectionately and professionally. And I am here with the one and only Dr. Jeffrey E. Berger with Abundance and Optimum Wellness, and also a huge part of the development team here in the U.S. for Viata One and Meta One. How are you today, Jeff?
I'm doing awesome, Mike. Thanks so much for having us on the show today. 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah,
it's great.
Last time we did this, it went through the rooftop. So looking forward to it and excited about it. And I don't think either one of us slept well. And it's fun because the gentleman with us today, let's pop them up there. We're going to bring them up here soon, folks. These guys, man, they are not just all heart. They are the story of resilience. I'm telling you. You know how, well, I tried and it didn't work. Yeah, well, try for a couple decades and then
exactly.
Tell me, right?
Yeah.
Because we do. We think that, oh, well, these people and folks that are successful, they have hand ups or some kind of advantage, or they only get told no once or twice. And boy, what you're going to find out is I'm not alone here. Neither are you. And birds of a feather flock together. It's called grit. So I am super excited. We're not going to go on and on because these guys, they got mission to make. So we're happy they're on, and we're going to go. Oh, real quick, folks, as you tune in. So we all know that the scrolling and the nonsense, right? I've got daughters, and now she's stuck on science. So there you go. All the STEM people out there, all the educators and doctors in science, there she's stuck. And people want to know what we were doing. All right, best $10 kit I ever bought. You ever remember those in school, Jeff, where you put the bacon and the vinegar, right? As soon as she saw that bag pop, that was it. And then
we made volcanoes as kids.
Yeah. Oh man, I was like that too. I said, well, I know what she's getting for Christmas, right? Microscope, telescope, something like that, so we can nerd out together. All right, let's launch this. Let's launch the video, folks. Let's get the party started. We got some folks already here. Who we got? Oh wow, Nathan Mitchell, brand new hound. This guy, ultra high level. I had the privilege of going to his webinar. He's got a not a webinar, but a small what do you call it? Coaching or training. Very, very high level stuff. Appreciate having him here. And he was introduced by Colleen Stubbs, right?
Nice.
Simplified CEO Systems.
Hey, Colleen.
And then we got Deborah Jackson. Good morning. Good to see you. She's with Bella Grace, right? And we seen Dr. Constance Leland of Level Up Academy. She loves that stuff. So I'm taking a serious look at it, and I love Deborah. She's like you, Jeff, educator, right? And let's get the party started. Let's go. I can't wait to bring these guys up, man. And they look sharp today. I'm a little intimidated. So let's go.
Looks like your business might be in a bit of a pickle. Don't you worry about a thing. You ain't alone in this. You're just a success story waiting to happen. Trust me on that. Every bump in the road is just an opportunity wearing a clever disguise. Welcome to the Hounds of Business community, where we don't just sit around twiddling our thumbs. Nope. We turn those obstacles into mighty fine stepping stones. This here's a place where high-level entrepreneurs and sharp professionals gather to grow their businesses and mindsets, kind of like how a good old gumbo needs the right ingredients to be something special. Ideas thrive here, and collaborations, well, they're as natural as sweet tea on a hot day. Success, it's a journey, and we're fixing to walk that road right beside you. Now, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn for all the latest tips and insights. We're talking about the kind of wisdom that'll keep you ahead of the game. And while you're at it, head on over to our YouTube channel. We've got ourselves a treasure trove of videos, from expert interviews to webinars, everything you need to stay sharp in this fast-moving world of business. The Hounds of Business community? Well, we ain't just a network, we're a movement. So why not come on and be part of something bigger? Join us today and let's turn your business journey into a real Southern success story. Together, we'll achieve greatness. Just like crawfish and singing on a Friday night.
All right. Well, thanks to me and Jeff, everyone on this panel knows about crawfish and singing on a Friday night, right? So without further ado, Jeff, you want to bring these great guys up?
Absolutely. You got the button. You got to pull them up.
I will do it. Gladly so. So let's welcome, first of all, a co-founder and CEO of Viata One, Waqas Suhail. I got it right? Welcome to the show.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you very much, Mike. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Good, Wakas. How are you today? You're in
Great. Great.
Dubai.
Yeah, I'm in Dubai today. Yeah.
Excellent.
It's like playing Where's Waldo. He's like Kevin Smith. He's everywhere. This guy, and
He is.
let's bring up the other
You
gentleman
have to
who
do what you
never.
have to do, indeed, right?
You earned it. I can't wait to share your story. The hounds and the viewers, they love this. They need this because they want to go out there and be somebody, do something special, and build a
Sure.
company that can serve people. Right. And hey, this guy, he's also been there and done that. Let's bring him up. Dr. Tahir Hussein, welcome to the show again, my friend. How are you?
Awesome, Mike. Thank you very much, Jeff. Lovely to see you as well.
Good
Glad
to
to
see
be
you
here.
too.
Okay, hold up.
All the way from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Look at how good everybody looks today, folks. Look at I'm sorry, I can't do it. All right. So you don't come to my show looking like $1 million. All right, hey, I got you. All right. And Jeff taught me how to tie this, folks, before I forgot. I'm going to fly Jeff out.
In the green
All
room.
right. There you go. Look at that. Did y'all see that? That's immortal. All right, that'll go viral. Somebody make me a short video. Am I ready?
There you go.
All right. Look.
Perfect.
Looking dapper there, Mike.
Yeah, Nathan, go share this with your friends. They want to see this. All right. So, all right, I'll behave now. Well, let's get going because I want the folks to know what this is about. And it's just much more than just, the amazing company and the opportunity that you guys have built. This is really about leaders born, for this, right? Others build from nothing, brick by brick, hustle by hustle, man. And some are born with an opportunity. In this panel today, folks, these are people who built from dirt, all right? And you all know how I love that. We built a whole community around that. Grind, grind, grind. So let's get the show started. And all three of you really built from nothing. I remember asking, I forgot who it was. I said, did anybody believe in you when you first went on this endeavor? And I can't remember who it was. Somebody said, not even my mom. My mom didn't even believe it. Like, people just couldn't see the concept. But that's the definition of visionary, folks, right? So let's start with you, Wakas. What early challenges shaped the leader you are today? Give us that little synopsis that you did the other day about 2004, that vision you had and how daggum challenging it was, but you kept going anyway. Please share that.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike, as we talked before as well, the idea came to me was in uh, 2004 when first time I tried to pull this off. But although it was an experiment, it was very successful. But since 2004 till 2008, and then from 2008 till 2016, I was keep pushing that idea, keep pitching people, try to convince a lot of investors, real estate giants, uh, and I travel with that as well. And and I'll tell you one very interesting fact that in 2018, somebody actually said, "Okay, fine, let's do it." And we're supposed to launch this whole idea and project in Rio. And I flew all the way to Brazil. And imagine what? One night before, he called me and he said, "Wakas, we can't do it. So it's off right now. Tomorrow we are not going to launch in the event." And
Wow.
imagine, it was so frustrating and demotivating. But Mike, honestly, if you believe in what you are doing, and I suggest people never give up. Keep moving on. And I tell you, by the way, and today when I talk with people, I tell them, for all the good reasons, people say no to me. Because if any one of them say yes, today I don't own this idea. Somebody else owns it. Because definitely I don't have those kind of funds, that kind of, resources that I can pull it off. But yes, for all the good reasons, they say, give me no. No, we don't believe it. It can't be happen. How can you do it? But yes, today it's happening around the world. Even now, we are in Dubai, and Dubai has officially, legally, as a government, they allowed people to fractionalize the properties through blockchain. So that's
Wow.
that's the in a cut short, I can tell you.
Now, I want to make sure that people understand, really sink in, folks. 2004 to 2008. Well, we all know what happened in 2008, right? Woo! So just to survive was something special. And then from 10 more years to 2018, your lucky break. Oh, wow, this is all going to happen now. And then, boom. Oh, my goodness. Folks can understand this. I know I can. And, but not to your level, right? Like, even I'm like, wow, Wakas, that's crazy. So, folks, it's not just something these guys are saying. You know, if it means enough, if it's going to make an impact, and that's what's inside of you, do it anyway, because you got to pay the price. So, Wakas, you're probably the overnight success that took 40 years, right? Right.
Oh, right, I agree with
Right.
that.
Oh, he's lucky. He blah blah blah. They didn't see the 40 years of just drive, man. And speaking of that, let's go to Dr. Ty here, because you got the Unstoppable Millionaire Academy. And what I love most about it is that there was a point in time where you lost a lot of money. You went through a challenge, and that's who I want to learn from, right? Because once you understand the internal and external process and the principles of business building and how success happens, you can even if you lose it, you can build it again, right? And you can build it again. So tell us your story, all right? Where did the fire to help others start for you? Where did all this come from? Where did that passion to keep going against insurmountable obstacles to do and be who you are today, Dr. Tahir?
Thanks, Mike. In fact, I'd connect with what Wakas was saying. I graduated in 2004. I was in States at that time. And for me, we all know what happened in 2008. That's where I got completely wiped away with millions of dollars, as you just spoke about. And I think that's 2009, 10, 11, and 12 were the times when I started realizing that there's more to life than just money. And I think that's where this whole authenticity, talking from your heart, caring for the masses, all of that comes in. And that basically gave birth to the Unstoppable Millionaire Academy, because it was not just about making money. I mean, there are people who are millionaires, multimillionaires, and billionaires, and there are shortcuts to it, and there are long-term effects to it. And our goal was, or my goal in particular was, that let's add value in such a way that's sustainable, that's long-term, and then you stick on that path. It's not an easy path, as you heard from Wakas. I mean, I'm just counting 20 years to see an idea today be at a certain point. So same is what I realized with the Unstoppable Millionaire Academy, that empowerment of the masses, one way for making that happen is through educating them consistently, regardless of what others say. But for me, it changed when I realized there's nothing else I felt was there to lose. Then you reach a point where you get so humble that it becomes about giving back to the community. Until today, I'm driven by that fact, and regardless of what the opportunity is, right?
And I love that about you guys. That's what a lot of folks. This is built by regular folks with heart and grit. Yeah, we want to make money, we want to make revenue, but it's how you do it, why you do it, that it absolutely aligns with who we are as a community and as business owners that come together here in the Hounds. So, and Jeff, hey, last but surely not least, brother, hey, you are your perseverance personified. Your whole life journey has been, hey, oh no, hey, oh no, like but you're breaking through. And folks out there who are not familiar with these gentlemen, I want you to understand this. We're going to skip ahead for a minute. From grind and no thank you and haha and all that stuff to accredited by Microsoft, Google, right, Amazon, Forbes writing about it. See that, and keep that in mind, because with Jeff and I, people go, "How did you get with Jeff?" Because Jeff's starting to boom now. He's working in the U.S. market, right? And the simple answer is, I believed in him when no one else did, and Jeff believed in me the same, right? When very few people did. And I want to make sure we get that down. So Jeff, give me a minute. Tell us about your story and how you ended up here with these great gentlemen, expanding this into the U.S.
Sure, Mike. Thanks so much. And I'm on the opposite end of the life journey than all of you here. So, I grew up as a baby boomer, following the rules and regulations of going to school, getting an education, and going to find a nice, safe, secure job. But that system doesn't work. So, I really attribute grit and resilience are my journey. And that resilience was really forged through financial devastation and walking away from everything I knew, growing up in my earlier years. And when the centralized medical system failed me, and then the traditional corporate structures left me empty, I had to rebuild from scratch. And that breakdown became really my internal breakthrough, if you will. And it really taught me that true grit isn't about enduring the system. It's about having the courage to create a better one. And that's what
Mm.
I've done is I've gone out and really explored and I became the CEO of my life and took care of myself and reached out and met Tahir first. Well, actually, it was uh, Lothar was the first person that I met who introduced me to Tahir, who introduced me to Wakas. And here we are today, and we're building an empire in the metaverse with the Art of One and Meta One, and very, very excited to be, part of that team who is expanding here in the U.S. market.
Absolutely. And let's get into it then. Now that folks know who you are, why you do it, your heart, your challenges, let's get into this because there's a lot of buzzwords flying around, a lot of marketing nonsense, and I want to make sure folks know the reason that you guys run with the hounds, the reason I recommend and endorse this is because you're educators. You're not trying to sell vegan steak dinners and bald people haircuts. You're out there, yeah,
Hey, wait a minute.
yeah, yeah. Oh, present company included. My bad, Jeff. But still, yeah, Jeff knows me, thank God. So, but again, you guys are very educational. You really want to, you're patient with people as well. I saw that, and that's won a lot of people over, Jeff. And that's something that I can absolutely appreciate and really get behind. So, well, Cost, let's start with you. Again, why real estate? Why metaverse? Why AI? And why now? What it's all about, and why is it important to the regular folks out here?
Look, Mike, it's very interesting, first of all, I'll come to the real estate part because then everything makes sense to you. Because first, why real estate? And my vision with the real estate to provide the opportunity for masses to a normal person, who masses actually who can get benefited with the real estate business. And but to get into the real estate business and get into the profits of real estate, somebody need a minimum half a million or few $100,000 in order to get into the real estate. You need to buy an apartment or a condo, right, or a villa, starting from a couple of 100,000. And lately I was in KL, so we were looking for a condo. It starts from half a million.
Right.
So somebody to get into the business, he needs that kind of a money in order to get into the business. So my focus was, and the vision was that, somebody who cannot afford, from a humble background, must have a chance to get into this business model, get into real estate, get into this asset class in order to start taking an advantage of it and build his life alongside with that. So that's why that fractional ownership idea comes to me. And then the best part was that we have chosen blockchain to be the vehicle in order to reach people and to create the whole system. And why blockchain? Because when we talk about blockchain, people only think about maybe cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin or something like that. But all these things are very tiny, miny part of blockchain. Blockchain is way bigger than that. When you
Right.
talk about blockchain, it's transparent, it's robust, right? It's very powerful, and anyone in any business can use that technology. So we have picked up, blockchain for that matter. And if you come up with the meta and the AI, so now AI is not just a buzzword. AI is everywhere. AI is in your life, right? And in the upcoming days, your life will be incomplete without AI, right? Especially when this agents generation is coming up, and then they will start helping you with the business, with education, with life, with everything. So you will see the change. And along with that, there's a whole universe is building, which is in the metaverse. And that really, and I'll give you my, like, when we started metaverse, people was thinking like, what you guys are talking about? It was
Right.
just a hype. And after Facebook moving to Meta, look at the shares value, look at the stocks, it's going down. Come on, guys. Last week, you have seen the new Ray-Ban with the Meta glass has been launched and is being successful. It's an amazing product. And look at the numbers. From one to this model, it took few years, and this model from the last model is only 10 months. So can you imagine the technology is moving so fast, and I believe the next version will not take 10 months. I believe it will be launched within few months. And then every business will be like, when in 1995, when I was talking to people about the web business, that I used to go and tell people that if you are not on web, you are not in the business. And people make fun of me. Right. And that was the time actually. But now when I'm telling people that if you're not in metaverse, you do not even exist, people think, we are getting crazy or something. But
Mhm.
now, and look at the Meta one. It's Meta one, not just one product, one place, one game. The Meta one is the whole universe we are creating. And that universe is consists of like 5 continents. And guess what? We have picked up the right continent to launch Meta one. The first one was education, because there is a huge gap and space. Nobody was doing on that part, at that point of time. And second, we pick up the business. And if you imagine, it's a big hit. Like with our new product, which is coming in the market, which is a chemistry lab, Mike, it's blown away because you remember you going to the chemistry lab in your days, and I don't remember that, how many like few experiments, maybe 3 4 we have done, and then they kick us out from the lab. But today, with the metaverse, you go into a lab, and a child and a kid, he can do experiments as many as possible without any hesitation, right? And that's
What?
create the new era, right, for the
Wait a
meta.
minute. Wait a minute. Listen. I was on board with you until it. Look, what's wrong with my chemistry lab? See,
That's
now it's
gonna
getting
be
personal.
metaverse soon.
I even brought my tie out for you, Wakas. All right. So, but you're right. Like it's amazing. And two things you said, and I want to go to Dr. Ty here. Number one, you're dead right. This is what it burns me and a lot of folks. How are you supposed to build wealth, right? Generational wealth, or even just a better quality of life for your family, right? Time, money, and freedom. If you have to have a bunch of money to get in. That's why fractional is such a powerful. And you didn't have to do that, guys. We all know, and if you don't know, I'll share it with you. They could have just went to wealthy investors and kept this privatized and upper level. They chose to bring this to the masses as well because they really want to help people. They're regular folks. And that's what this whole thing's about. How do we level the playing field? How do we make things affordable and accessible and all grow together? It really is something special. So thank you for that because, and by the way, they laughed at the microwave, right? They thought that was a funny concept. They laughed at the radio, the internet, everything that we enjoy today was a laughable concept by somebody like y'all up here. And that's why I love having these shows. Dr. Todd here, you talk a lot about purpose driven growth, right? How do you see digital real estate connecting to legacy? Like, what do you see for the future and impact? What's your thoughts?
Well, a great question, Mike. And I would start from where Wakas left on the real estate aspect. It's easier said than done that assets are there, get a couple of $1 million or hundreds of millions of dollars in, and help a couple of people empower themselves. It's hard to fractionalize something, to take the hits, regulatory and otherwise, legals and otherwise, so that the masses could benefit to a market that has an unfair advantage. I've been a part of that market for decades, and the unfair advantage is the higher the assets you have, the better the returns would be, or the better the price would be. Now, the reason I mention that is because it's important to understand how we are taking a physical brick and mortar asset, and then when we say digital asset or digital real estate asset, we're taking the same physical and digitalizing it. So that's one factor. Through the click of a button, thanks to blockchain, we are able to do that through we are the one group of companies. So that's and the other part is anyone on planet Earth can take advantage of that because it's digital. You don't have to be physically in a particular place, sign thousands and thousands of pages of documents. From a convenience point, it becomes a lot easier. So when you make a product simple enough, when you make a product good enough to move fast enough, you become disruptive in an asset industry, in our case, the digital real estate industry. Now, the moment you start doing that, what you start realizing is the entrepreneurs, the first investors who come on board with this idea, as crazy as it would sound to some of our audiences who are probably hearing this for the first time. Yes, this exists. We've been doing it for years with We Are the One. And now, if you take the advantage of doing it correctly, even as a consumer, you stand a chance to leave a legacy for the next generation to come, because we took away the excuse of saying that, oh, I didn't have a couple of $100,000 or a couple of $1 million, because it could start with a couple of $1,000s and onwards. So that's one aspect, and I'll just add something else to it. The second aspect is, even if you had a couple of $1 million, why would you put all of that into one basket when you could fractionalize it across continents, across the world? As crazy as that sounds, today that's possible. Yes.
No, I love that. And we're going to go to Dr. Jeff because he's all about wellness, everything, well, physical, mental, financial wellness. It's not one or the other, right? But you hit the nail on the head, Dr. Ty, here, as usual, that wisdom, right? That's what I love about you guys. You're like, no, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Use discernment. Do what's best in your best interest, right? And you guys make this affordable and accessible, right? There's like $50 I mean, you really did go above and beyond. I know way too much about this industry. So I can vouch for the fact that you guys are putting this together very masterful. So, Dr. Jeff, hey, man, again, where do you see, virtual spaces, AI, metaverse? Where do you see this intersecting with human performance, right? How is this going to help us as people and productivity? What do you see this coming as the future?
Yeah, thanks, Mike. So I'd like to just go back a little bit to the previous question and intertwine it with the legacy aspect. And when I talk with people, I share my story. I'm an ex-software engineer. And in 2009, I was approached with the opportunity to purchasing 500 Bitcoin at 0.0017 cents. That's an 85-cent investment. My response was, nah, sounds like a scam. And I just looked up, Bitcoin is now at $109,000 per coin. So we bring that forward, and here we are. We are in the front of a paradigm shift in the way things are being done. And I encourage people to think about decades ago when Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, and Amazon introduced their technologies decades ago. There were people who saw a vision in that technology, and they jumped on board. That's exactly where we are today with blockchain technology. And we talk about blockchain, and Tahir talked about the Waqas talked about the tokenization of real estate on blockchain in 2019. Well, today the phrase real world assets is now in play, and real world assets are tangible items. You've got real estate, you've got cars, you've got the metaverse. You're investing into a platform on the blockchain technology, like those who invested in Microsoft back in the day, Apple back in the day. But this really, and legacy isn't what you leave behind. It's really what you set in motion. And I'm building systems and educating people to create that abundance that ripples through generations. We want it to be passed because we're in that futuristic legacy growth period right now. And it's about empowering others to break free from scarcity-based thinking and then build wealth in all dimensions. Because as the CEO and founder of Abundance and Optimum Wellness, I believe we should be, we're giving the tools and the protocols for people to actually create a life and to live an abundance and optimum wellness, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And when you're financially free, the world is your oyster, because unfortunately money rules everything in what you do, and you have more options when you are financially free. And that's how I tie everything into this. And again, that educational aspect. We're in a new educational era here, and it's time to educate, because those who remain stagnant will be left behind.
Yeah, a couple things you said, man, that resonates. Number one, say that again. Legacy is what you set in motion. Man, that's poetic. That ought to be on a fortune cookie, man. Say that again.
So legacy isn't what you leave behind. It's what you set in motion.
Wow.
Wow.
Man, I'm gonna steal. You better trademark that or something. All right. And then second of all, you've been there and done that, man.
Yeah.
You're speaking from experience, and education. Today, people can Google everything. Information is not kept for a few like it was in the 80s, right? Now
Right.
it's everywhere. Today's professionals, and you guys caught this. I'm going to spill the beans. Y'all okay with this? All right, because I saw
Go.
through it. Today's professionals, what you guys are demonstrating is now you help people weed through 8 billion pages of a Google search, right? To find the one thing that they need to focus and then focus on the next thing. You make sense of all the confusion, all the overload of information. And that is what really makes me go, that makes sense. Because if folks Google Metaverse right now, tell me how many pages pop up, right?
Absolutely.
But I could sit down with Dr. Jeff for 30 minutes and go, okay, yeah, now I'm starting to understand that, right? And then how does it apply to me, my family, my lifestyle, my goals and dreams? And I think that's what it is. Okay. So
Hey, Mike, can I add one more thing to this?
absolutely.
And actually what costs, and I think Tahir touched on this. This what I love about this business model is that it's geared for the masses, and we're all about for the betterment of humanity. Because there are people struggling out there. They don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. And our products and services are geared for the masses to be able to come in, not with hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars, but come in and get their baby toe wet or get their foot wet and start exploring this whole paradigm shift in the blockchain, because blockchain is where everything is going. And that's in the next 3 to 5 to 10 years. A lot of the things that we're doing today will be, prehistoric. So
Yeah, it's wild. You're dead on. And while I got you here, real quick, if you would, I've heard and you've told me, U.S. market is still untapped. Just in
yeah.
short, why is that, and what makes this moment different? Why is it a little
Mm.
bit different than it was maybe a couple of years ago, right? With the reception of Metaverse and blockchain. Give us a little bit.
So you're asking me, Mike?
Yeah, Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah. So my experience since I really diversified in 2022, I came out of the centralized system and diversified in the decentralized. And there was just a certain protocol with, certain entities, if you will, that were blocking and just really bad mouthing blockchain, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and instilling fear into the American people. I did a lot of research on
Mm.
this, and there's just so much out there about shutting cryptocurrency companies down and so forth and so on. So and now in 2022 to 2020 end of 2024, slower than snails. And I got it. It was like in the beginning, I didn't understand what's going on. Why this makes sense, but I did the research, and today we have a group of individuals from all specters, from the current administration, the SEC, so forth and so on, that embrace blockchain technologies because they know this is the future. This is where everything is going. And now people are really more receptive today than in the past to getting educated to see if this is a good fit for them, because it's all about education. If it fits into your paradigm, awesome. If it doesn't fit into your paradigm, awesome. At least you got educated so you can make that decision for yourself instead of reading a narrative that's over here that's spewing garbage to the masses. And that has been very, very refreshing in 2025 for the US market. Mike, you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm doing my mom impression. Y'all like that? Yeah. Hey, this is my first show. Thank you for the grace, right? All right. Hey, people get it. Hey, if I can do it, you can do it. That's real.
There you
All
go.
right. So, Wakas, if you don't mind, let's piggyback off that. What lessons from the international growth, right? It's kind of because we're not being political, folks. Understand that, but the research and the facts are there wasn't this kind of embracement, and it was a lot more barriers than there is today. I mean, we're just saying that. That's just a factual statement. But on that note, since the international growth pretty much was it wasn't suppressed. So what kind of lessons can we apply from this international growth here in the States, right? While it's starting to kind of catch up to the international, spotlight, so to speak.
Yeah, Mike, if you look at it in this way, that I believe that I very much agree with Jeff that we initially won't be understand that what's going on because all the market was flourishing. Everybody was, embracing us, giving us a lot of positive feedback. And as you know, that our footprint is over 106 countries. So we are not talking about one or two or three countries or, communities. Our footprint is over 106 countries at the moment. Somewhere we got a very good response, somewhere we got a less. But overall, if you look at it, so it's an amazing outcome of the whole process. But yes, I believe because of those, when I used to talk with people in US, the same questions that are you really think that it will work? Look at the stocks, look at there's no legal coming up, no registration, none of the people are accepting us, the governments are still opposing the ideas. But you see that, yeah, there was challenges, which we agree. But now over the period of time, and especially because in 2024 last quarter, the way things change, and my research team came up with me that this is the year which will define the golden era of the metaverse. And you need to stop all the things and just focus on the meta one. And imagine what happened that you have seen us from idea to MVP, MVP to product, and product to product launch, not just one product, or each product is like a whole company around it. So this is the outcome we got in 2025. So imagine what we have achieved in 2025. 26, 2026 is gonna be a huge, yeah, because now governments are accepting it, people are accepting it. AI created the buzzword, which is not slowing down, and especially with the new technology and technological upgrades in the hardware will change everything. So yeah, this I understand that what happened, but the best part is that we are the one, the group never give up on it. We really keep moving forward. We keep pouring money into it and keep doing it. And today, when we are sitting with anyone, like a couple of months back in Zimbabwe, the Ministry of Education, they are signing an MOU with us in order to put the metaverse in their curriculums and how to teach kids with metaverse. So these kind of things, and Pakistan and Oman, where we have like hundreds of schools already, on board with on our platform, and now we give them a product to exercise, and now this year they are implementing those metaverse products in their with their curriculum. So yeah, the move is huge, and the future is extremely amazing with this.
It is. Thank you. I can't mess that up. That was a very great explanation. See, that's why. See, this guy's been at it for a long time. So, Dr. Tahir, if you don't mind, uh, because the folks out here listening, right, they're business owners, entrepreneurs. So, what advice would you give, or just information to help people for entrepreneurs, business folks, professionals looking to be early adopters without being reckless? What are some good advice that you would give folks to kind of take steps into this if they're unfamiliar?
Very well put, Mike. Fortune favors the brave. We've heard this a lot of times. And the reason it favors the brave is because when you are an early adopter, think of Wakas in 2004 talking about what he's talking about today. People thought you were crazy. People thought, oh, how is that possible? And a million things that probably wouldn't work, right? So, as an early adopter, you have to think outside the box. It's important. If you're going to be the norm, if you want everyone to accept you for being the norm, then you can't call yourself an early adopter. So, that's point number one. Now, once you start thinking outside the box, you then have to associate yourself with people who think like you outside the box. And one of the reasons we are having this session is because of all of us thinking outside the box in a certain way, being an early adopter, at least talking about technology where the world is now saying we are early adopters of it. So you could be one, number one. At the same time, you mentioned without being reckless, which is important because while fortune favors the brave, you want to be sure you're not reckless. Now, how do you get to be reckless? You don't get to be reckless by making calculated risk. You get to be reckless when you act on impulse and emotions and nothing else. So
Mm.
look at the
Mhm.
people you are surrounding yourself with. Are they short term? Are they long term? Unfortunately, we live in the tech era in a way through socials where when you scroll through certain posts, including the meta, most people have this presumption that this happened overnight, which is absolutely wrong. So understand that being responsible comes with the opportunities you associate with, and we are not a hit and run opportunity, if you would. And if we are not one, and you're presented with one, like fear of missing out is the only thing
Mm.
why you basically invest into something, then that could be reckless. So look at the people, regardless of the opportunity, when it comes to that. So early adopters, how they cannot be reckless is by thinking long term. And again, being an entrepreneur is a part of your growth. And unfortunately, a lot of us want to be an entrepreneur, but we are thinking about our monthly paychecks. So there comes the conflict, right? So
Oh, yeah.
while you want to be an entrepreneur, and I don't want to give a lecture on that right now, but study entrepreneurship, especially study the failures, including ours, by the way. So you understand that this is not like a cool looking project that has made it so big or making it so big, but also look at what it took us to be here. How was the idea of the metaverse a concept 3 years ago, and look where we are today. So all of those things will help you understand how not to be reckless, how to basically be an early adopter with informed decision, and especially the right community of people.
Yeah, well said. Absolutely well said. And by the way, you can come back anytime if you want to give a lecture on entrepreneurship. Okay, just
Right?
don't send us the invoice. I hope he gets lost in the mail. I said, oh my goodness. So because seriously, you have an academy that teaches people these things, and go out there and follow him on LinkedIn. You're on LinkedIn, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Tahir Hussein. All right, go out there and learn more about his Millionaire Academy, Unstoppable Millionaire Academy, and plug in. Tried and true. So let's get into this before we get into some action steps. I want to go more so into legacy, right? Building legacy in the digital age, because that's where we're at. It's not coming. The future isn't coming. It's here now. So
Mm.
I'm going to open this to everyone, right? What legacy is bigger than just likes and temporary success, right? Like Jeff said, right? It's setting things in motion. So what does legacy building mean to each of you in this new frontier? Jeff, we'll start with you, buddy.
Yeah, so I'll go back to what I said earlier because repetition is sometimes good with regards to for the audience purposes out there. But legacy isn't what you leave behind. Because I think about talking with people over the years and their family legacy. It's not what you leave behind; it's about what you set in motion. It's a different mindset shift, and that has really changed my way of thinking about legacy and building these systems and educating people that really create abundance does and will have a rippling effect. And I think that is proven with the technologies of today. We're able to capitalize on those technologies that will take us even further with greater success with legacy development. And again, going back to finances are the number one stressor globally. This will definitely be a catalyst to creating that lifestyle to live in abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And that is the formula that I have been really bound to since 2018 when I came off of 6 medications and really changed my life around. So it's about what you set in motion, and I love what we're doing here is part of that paradigm shift, and it's part of the legacy that I will be leaving to family members in the future.
Well said. And we heard Dr. Tahir just give his, answer to this pretty much. So if you don't mind, Wakas, I'm going to ask you this question on the same note. How can all the things that your companies, right, VR to One, to Meta One, all the things, digital real estate, Metaverse, right, AI, you guys got a lot of things, right? How can this help leaders leave something that outlasts them, right? So those builders who are beyond just temporary profit, they're looking like you guys to the future, generational. How can this leave something that outlasts them?
Yeah. First of all, Jeffrey, hats off to you because you nailed it.
Yeah.
Nobody can come up with a better than what you have said. But if you would, ask me that what I had in my mind when I started all that, and because every time when I talk to people, I always tell them, it's very important that what you leave behind when you're gone, how people will remember you. That's very important. But that whole process, it starts way beyond, you know, and it needs a lot of sacrifice, a lot of courage, and a lot of hard work in order to. And first of all, what I believe that you need to selfless in order to go to that level where you will be able to leave a legacy, right? Because when you look at we are the group which we have formed, and our core focus was to build a lifestyle for the people, and they will be able and provide them those opportunity where they can live their dreams, which they live their lifestyle, what they dream of, right? And on the top of that, one make them able to contribute for the betterment of humanity. Because I have a very firm belief that if people will uplifted, they will, and that the real good soul, there's a lot of beautiful souls around the world who really want to contribute for the betterment of humanity, but they do not get chance. They don't have those resources. They have their own dilemma there nowadays, especially where they are in the grind. It's very difficult for someone to get out and do something for the community, for the people, for the nation, for humanity all over. But yes, there's a lot of people around them. So we want to be someone who gives them that opportunity, a platform where they can come, work along with us, and will be able to build their own lifestyle, which they want to live, they dreamt of, and along with that, able to help the community, able to help humanity, able to help their own society, able to help their family first. So it just starts from there and then grow up to the mankind. So this is what we are looking at.
Oh, goodness gracious. Am I? Oh, I'm not on mute. How about that? Hey, even a blind squirrel catch a nut every now and then. And say, look at me. All right. It's early, folks. These guys got me fired up. Y'all know I don't people till noon my time. But you know what? I forgot it was early. So I love this discussion, guys. I really do. This is the realest thing. Your company is not just built on solid principle. It sounds like it's built on absolute heart, undeniable, right? And that combo, that's unstoppable. All right. So let me ask you this, and we're not done yet, folks. So don't run. I want to open this up, right? For leaders watching right now, right? For folks who are curious, maybe they're engaged, different spectrum. Maybe they're not even starting. Maybe they already started. What's the first step that they should take to learn and position themselves in real estate, AI, metaverse, everything? What are some steps they could take right now, Jeff, to get really educated before they pass by an opportunity that they might regret later, right? So what is the step?
Yeah, so great question, Mike. And number one, it's get educated. This is a new paradigm shift, and if I have people saying, "What is blockchain?" So it's about
Right.
getting educated and not just consuming, the content by immersing yourself in these communities, but explore by purchasing an NFT, purchasing a token, uh, or NFTs or tokens, and explore the virtual world, because that is where you're going to get that experience, and experiment with it with the AI tools. And you can't lead where you haven't walked, and that's
Right.
that's what I truly believe, especially with this paradigm shift in blockchain technology. It is some people say it's very, very complicated. It can be. However, we try to break it down into small chunks, like brick by brick, as we said earlier. We want to lay that foundation of education. And then I believe that as they explore the metaverse and see what we have to offer them, they're just going to jump right on board, because the future of this platform, right now we've got about 500,000 plus in the metaverse. And by 2029, it's expected to be over 10 million users, if not more.
Users.
So it's very,
Oh
very
wow.
exciting.
And by the way, folks, my apologies if I can't show your comment on screen. There's a little glitches. I think StreamYard's doing some updates, you know. So, but we see you. We appreciate you. And hey, y'all want to know the truth? I don't know no other way.
Mhm.
Jeff come to me over 2 years ago and was like, "Hey, Mike, you want to learn about blockchain?" And I said, "Take that somewhere else, Jeff. I don't want." I don't want to, no, but see, there was something in me that said, I don't want to be the maid who didn't look at or have or take seriously the opportunity, you know, to invest in
Mm,
Microsoft in the 80s. I mean, we look back at these stories. But I also don't want to be the guy who's homeless because I threw everything in the mortgage money. And this is what we mean. Hey, if I hear you correctly, you're saying take little baby steps, test and play, get to know, right? Do something safe and secure for yourself. Get to play with it, right? That's what I
Right.
did. I came in and just took a little bit and was like, okay, let me examine this. And then I started doing research, not just Google search, research. I started like big, huge companies out there, major investors, pull their research, folks. People say I did research, they mean a Google search, Jeff. I did the
Right.
same thing. Then I realized there's massive amounts of millions and millions of dollars of research that I can go pull from other entities. All right. So there's a couple ways. First of all, go set right now with Dr. Jeffrey E. Berger. Have that talk. There's no pitch slapping with a P. There's no bothering people. He really did. He won me over. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I love this educational approach, real deal. And then, two, like I said, my personal challenge, I'm speaking for me here, go out there and research credible sources that are unbiased, that are out there talking. Because, in my opinion, in my research, we are behind in the US simply because of other factors. The world has continued to move forward. Right? They didn't have these kind of things slowing down the process. So I applaud you, Dr. Jeff, for your tenacity. You know, you were doing this when everybody was like, ah, whatever. And now you have won people over, right? You've won folks in the hounds, you've got, you know, the clarity, and you've really dispelled a lot of the marketing nonsense that floats around this space,
Right.
especially online. And that's what I love the most. And I love to be there. I'm not telling people to do or not do. I'm encouraging and helping people figure it out for themselves. And that's where we all, I think, understand this. We're not saying, oh, do
Right.
us, do them. We're saying, get educated. We
Yeah.
are an option. We would like, once you understand it, now pick us if you want. If you don't pick us, we're here later. That very, very few.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
a,
absolutely. And you mentioned about doing your due diligence and researching. There is a lot of garbage out there. There are a lot of Debbie Downers who
yeah.
will spew, just misinformation. Make sure it's credible sources. That's key to getting the right education. And yeah, so and we have white papers. We have white papers I can share with people. And I do have an ebook. I'll do a little plug real quick. About just basic information about blockchain and cryptocurrency and tokenization of real estate, just to get your appetite to wanting more information from that. So I'll share that with the people as well in the link in the comments section.
Okay. Deborah said they lost me for a minute. Dadgummit. Um, That's all right. Hey, we're making good time. I know. Well, Cost, you have to run, my friend. So let's give you the final question. And if both you gentlemen have to leave, me and Jeff will wrap up. We're about finished. But I want to make sure anybody who wants to say this, all right. If you want to address this for Cost, we'll get to you because I know you got to run. You know, one word of advice for people, entrepreneurs, right? Mainly watch this, but people chasing legacy in the digital era. What's one takeaway that you want people to get from this conversation today?
ah, if I sum up really quick and give the right advice, I believe don't let this pass like this. Don't let it pass. Don't let we are the one pass to you without looking into it, without testing the waters. I
Yep.
believe because someone in the room in 2022, when we have launched the meta idea, and he said yes. I cannot give you the name and the fortune he made because when
Right.
we started nothing, absolutely zero, only white paper. But today there's a product, there's companies. We are launching three companies within the Meta one. So imagine where we are going now. Three companies I'm talking about, and that's just a start, just a start. And each company, if I will, I'm not exaggerating. If you look at the numbers, we have a complete research with that. Each company potential is minimum $1 billion. That's what we are talking about. So,
Wow.
ladies and gentlemen, this is the future. Don't let it pass, right? We have you guys have an amazing opportunity. We have Jeffrey over here, and he is a thorough gentleman who come up with the right research, and he took his sweet time, by the way, doing
Right.
research, reading, being interviews, visiting us in Istanbul, visiting us in Dubai. Uh, he did his footwork indeed to be there. We have Tahir. We have people around the world who are doing business with us. So this is an amazing opportunity. Don't let it pass because this is the future. And this is, you are at the very right time, with the right people, with the right platform to go and grow and glow. So, yes, so this is what I can say just to wrap up this. And especially with the fractional ownership, ladies and gentlemen, you are living the golden
Yeah.
era of time. We did it. We started in prototype. I was last year. I was in San Francisco with the Tech Crunch, and there I met someone who was in real estate, and I showed him as my number when we were doing only a prototype on a one apartment as a fractional ownership, and he was boggled down because the fraction we started with $1,000. Today that was minimum $5,000, and we are not selling it because that was the first ever NFT done in real estate anywhere in the world. So its value going to be amazing in upcoming years. But along with that, we have launched just because that the imagine the power of that idea, the proof of concept that today when we are talking, we already launched the first ever resort which will be sold in NFT. So, and this is going to be huge because we are the first one who come up with the idea, and this resort going to be the first ever resort. So imagine if you understand a little about NFT, you can do the maths that what's going to be after a couple of years. So this is from my side because there's a lot more coming up. We are launching the first and the largest metaverse real estate expo in the world, where basically nowadays I'm traveling for that matter actually, and I'm very soon I'll be in New York in order to do a roadshow for that. So this is huge. Metaverse is not slowing down. Fractionalism is not slowing down. This is the
Oh,
future, what we are talking about. So don't let it pass.
oh, folks, the monster is unleashed, folks. Y'all see that? This man hasn't slowed down. He is still tenacious and working as hard as ever, just as he did when everybody went, ha ha, that ain't gonna work. Right? And so hats off to you, my friend. Keep going, keep doing the good things, fighting the good fight, educating people, treating them well. Appreciate you, Wakas. Thank you so much for all you're doing. We're gonna let you run because I know you got a
Thank you
special
very much,
event.
Mike. And thank you very much, Tahir. Thank you very much, Jeff, for inviting me. And Mike,
To
thanks a
us.
lot for having me on this panel. Thanks a lot. God bless you. Have a great
Thank
day.
you. You
Yes,
Bye-bye.
as well.
sir.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to end with you two gentlemen with the same similar question. All right. One word of advice for folks, entrepreneurs, people in general, right? Chasing legacy in the digital era, right? They're wanting to know more about this. What's your advice for folks? Um, and what do you want them to take away from today's combo? Tahir, I'm
Sure.
sorry, Dr.
Yeah.
Tahir.
Sure. Sure. So here's my thought: legacy isn't chased; it's created. And if it's created, then think of you creating anything that you've ever done in life, from a brick house to anything else, or from a company and upwards. So creation requires time, work, effort, energy. AI and metaverse are going to disrupt you in whatever you're doing in life today, in the next 24, 36 months, up to 5 years, or quicker. So if it's going to happen anyways, why not listen to the experts, to the people who are doing it, and then make a decision? Education is one aspect of it. Making a decision is one aspect of it, because when you make a decision, you get to live. But when you make a decision, like what Dr. Jeffrey did, um, you get to then decide what that legacy could look like. And then you own that decision for good or bad, right? So that's my piece of advice for the digital era we are in. It looks moving at a lightning pace, but it looks like that because you could be watching it as a spectator than being the one in the era. So get your hands dirty, get into the era of being in that digital AI metaverse space, and then experience the magic happen at the same time. Thank you.
Well said, my friend. I know we're at the top of the hour. We're about to close. So if you need to bail out now, no worries. We appreciate you being here. And all heart, folks. So go check out Dr. Tahir Hussein. He has the Unstoppable Millionaire Academy, and also obviously pioneering all these amazing things with the art of one. And Jeff, we'll close out with you, my friend. Thank you for making this
Super.
possible. Thank
No,
you for
thank
the
you.
opportunity to serve together. And you have, boy, talking about the little engine who could. Gee whiz, man. So we're going to close off because I have rarely seen someone have so much grit, tenacity, and go, go, go as these gentlemen. But I personally saw you do it, Jeff. So thank you for the opportunity to grow together. And close us out, man. What do you want people to take away from this conversation? All these things, right? Well,
Sure.
you know what to say.
Thanks, Mike. It's truly a humbling experience to be on your show and sharing your stage. Um, you know, what I really encourage people is to be open to learning. And you don't want to be somebody down the road saying, oh, if I only. All right. And I go back to, again, I go back to my 2009 with Bitcoin. I said it was a scam. And where is it today? But what's changed from 2009 to today, Bitcoin is a coin that's on the blockchain. But today we moved into real world assets, and that's a whole different paradigm shift because assets are tangible. I went to Dubai. I touched the Paramount Apartments. I touched the properties that are part of our ecosystem. I own, the Meta glasses to be able to explore the metaverse, and that is a blockchain software technology that I am a shareholder in. So we're not investing in it's just like those that invested in Microsoft, and that is what's changed today. And this is really catapulting, and these technologies are really growing at astronomical speeds with regards to move from today moving forward. And you don't want to be left behind. And again, as I say, we're here to educate you. We're here to provide the right resources for you to do your own due diligence. And then if it resonates with you, great. We're happy to have you part of our ecosystem because we're doing it with or without you. And we've got a lot of growth to happen. Again, we're still in those early stages, and the early bird always gets the bigger worms. So that's what I encourage people to do is just be open, get educated, and attend one of my, webinars, because I do take you on a tour of our metaverse. You'll see it on the screen, but you won't actually feel it because when you wear the glasses, it's a whole different experience because there's sounds and there's, people talking, so forth and so on. But yeah, jump on board, get educated, and hope to see you on the inside.
Yeah, and that's it. Have some fun. Play with these, learn some concepts, connect with people that are birds of a feather, folks. Don't be intimidated. This is not, you're not going to so somebody can sell you a bunch of bowls or something. This is actually fun to me. I met a lot of great people. I met these gentlemen. And last thing, what you said, Jeff, spot on, because I just remembered back in early 2009 era, Warren Buffett, correct me if I'm wrong, I just going by memory, he said something about that. He says, look, I don't like it, or there's something about not being tangible, right? In other words, you can't feel it, touch it. And that is a huge point. That caught my attention years ago. I said, well, now it is, right? And that's one of the many differences in evolutions, in my opinion, of this, that the Meta one and VR one are not just bringing to the table, but pioneering in this space. And I think that's something special.
No,
so,
absolutely. One more thing I'd like to add, just for clarity for people, because I am the CEO and founder of Abundance and Optimum Wellness. All right. And if you could go back to the slide with the QR codes.
There you go.
And over there, above Wakas, embracing new ways to true wealth in the modern world. True wealth is not about money only. It's about being able to access the tools and the resources, as I said earlier, allowing you to create a lifestyle, to live in abundance and optimum wellness, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And that is what I'm about, because I stand firm with that formula. And it's just proven, it's been a game changer for me and for other people that are coming on board into our ecosystem. So thanks so much.
Yes. And Catherine, I don't know how long there's a lot of comments and tech gremlins, but we made it through, folks. Catherine, absolutely. Have fun. Life's too short. Go live fully. That includes the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, the losses, even $1 million losses, right? Dr. Tao here. And then the recovery of that, right? So don't get hung on, oh my gosh, it didn't work. We just had a whole show on a bunch of pioneers, leaders, and successful folks who experienced, sounds like to me, way more setbacks, way more skepticism, and they did it anyway. So there's my final thoughts for the day, like Jerry Springer style, right? Hey, do it anyway. Listen, prove the supporters right and prove the naysayers wrong. But more importantly, do it because it's inside of you. Do it because you want to do it. That's what matters most, right? Because I want to go out there and help people. I want to help business people, that could make a difference in all kinds of things, homelessness, right? Support. That's why I do this. Yeah, of course I need money. Because you know what? The more money we have, the more good things we can do with it. I can't help a lot of people with no money. I got to have time, money, and freedom to go out there and help folks. And that ties us all together. So, all right. Join us next Wednesday, October 1st, 7 p.m. Eastern, our normal time. We're going to have Colleen Stubbs. She is a fairly new hound and a massive supporter of the HOB. Didn't take her long. And she is helping people primarily in midlife get their automation systems together. Because if you're around my age or older, oh man, it's not that easy, right? I mean, so we need experts who can help us not drown in busy work. We're supposed to be out there spreading messages and helping people solve problems, not drowning in paperwork that AI and automation and CRM could do. So check us out for that. And then we will have another encore October 8th, 7 p.m. Eastern time, U.S. time, with these gentlemen back here again on YouTube and LinkedIn. So, folks, thank you so much. Deborah, thank you for sticking in there. Also, Nathan, Newhound, Catherine, a lot of folks that we didn't get to see on the platform. That's okay. Share this with your friends. Go to YouTube, Hounds of Business channel. You can go find this and past shows with these gentlemen. And we'll get some short videos because we got a lot of good stuff out of it. Plus, if you missed it earlier, folks, right, or you didn't get to see it, yeah, I wore a tie for 10 seconds. Jeffrey had to teach me how to tie it. As these guys came ready like prom style. I was like, oh no. So I do have one. It's got dust all over it, folks. All right. So gentlemen, I will see you backstage. Appreciate you folks in the comments. Hounds, love you to death. We're making an impact and a movement. And look who we're attracting, with this positive message of getting things done. So we'll see you on the next one, folks. Have a good one.
See y'all.
See ya.
Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.